the Aries Equinox, the Aries New Moon, and Pluto moving into Aquarius, all happening this week of March 20th. Big changes, big shifts of energies. So much coming up to the surface to be cleared and cleansed. How can you meet this moment, these energies, with as much ease and grace instead of resistance, a holding on to what is old and outdated and limiting? And that's some of what we're going to explore in this video here. And it's only going to be the tip of the iceberg for these energies, because I'm sure you don't want to listen to me chat for 4 hours. So just a snippet. But I truly hope that what I share here will support you through this moment in time, through the months and years ahead. We're really entering a big portal, a big period of change, and again, I would love to support you as much as humanly possible on your journey. My name is Chrissy Wissler. I am a quantum, multidimensional astrologer and intuitive. And if you find that right now you are lost, you have no idea which way to go, your life is stuck, you are not alone. And in fact, astrology can be an amazing key and tool to help guide you and find your way forward by looking at your astrology, your personal astrology, where the planets were at the time of your birth and where they are now. What is your soul asking you and pushing you and urging you to go into this new direction? So if you're interested, please reach out for a Chart Your Stars astrology reading. You can find out more at my website at chrissywissler.com. And please like this video and subscribe to this channel. That truly helps me so much to connect to more people like you and to get these astrology messages out there. Now, as I said, we are coming into a very big, powerful period of time. As much as I know many of you are just like, oh my gosh, just give me the date for when this is going to be over and when we can have some ease and grace. And I'm sorry to say that that is just not this moment in time that our planet is in. We are in a big period of transformation, deeply releasing of the old, of what has been outdated, expired, not working for the global collective. What needs to be let go of, so we have space to bring in and to create the new. So that is this giant overall theme for this time. Again, a period of time. And it's not all hopeless at all. There's so much amazing support that we have that's coming in. And yet it's going to be very much our individual decision and where we want to line up and focus our energy, our intention, our creation, even as so much of our world will be changing. So let's just dive in and get into all of that. As usual, I like to start this video as this overall, what are the energies? What have I been feeling? And it hasn't been easy for sure. It's really interesting. My throat is starting to get really scratchy, which is also just beautiful as I'm clearing my throat chakra. That has also been what has been coming up for me. The past 3-year period, the trauma that I experienced as a mother of very unique, special children in a city like Los Angeles, and the global lockdown, truly getting locked down and separated from nature. So that reliving experience has been very much in my field, and having to really break out of my blocked throat chakra to start speaking up for my child, who actually couldn't even speak for himself. At that time, Eric had just started talking. He was 5 years old and had no idea what a virus was, or why going to the beach we suddenly could not do, to go to our nature spaces. He had no idea. And just this eruptive, emotional, angry energy, all of his routines suddenly disrupted. And my experience with the society around me and the projection of anger onto him, because he wasn't okay with all the changes that were happening. He was angry. So I had a lot of judgment thrown at us. A lot of anger that he wasn't just easily complying to wear a mask, like he was refusing. And the inability of people to actually hear and understand the experience that this child was having. This expecting, someone in a wheelchair to suddenly get up and start walking up the stairs. Like they can't do that. And that is exactly what they were asking of him, to do this thing that he could not do. But there was no space and understanding. So for me, I had this deep reliving of my trauma as the mother holding space for him. Holding space and speaking up. And everything that I had tucked away and shoved down so I could step into that role for him. All of that was swirling around me these past few days, and really deeply going into that grief and that letdown by society towards me and my child, who is different. And a society that, our experience of course, didn't care about his differences and his challenges and his struggles. And it's also beautiful because, again, the astrology, we have the south node of the moon going through Scorpio, also square to Pluto right now. And Pluto's at that last 29 degrees of Capricorn. So here we have society, government, systems, structures, institutions restricting our freedoms. Pluto's moving into Aquarius, the sign of liberation. All right, so it was perfectly timed that this experience happened. For me, this was also the south node of the moon is currently conjunct my moon in Scorpio. So it was not feeling emotionally safe, insecure around society and trusting in society and the people around me. So that's been my deep experience, my cleansing that's coming up to the surface that I'm really leaning into, allowing myself to feel and to cry those moments. So let me know below, what has your experience been? What are you cleansing and clearing? Any traumas that you had to move through right now, or that you had to tuck away, and it's like, now you're getting that nudge of like, you see this here? Now it's time to go into this, to heal this, to rebirth this. And it's even more beautiful because we have one of the Kuiper Belt objects, Haumea. She's a dwarf planet, and she is also conjunct that south node. So she is like really holding this regenerative space. So it doesn't matter how far down into the depths we need to go, we can heal this. So again, very beautiful. This very transformational period of time where we are, all of us, being asked to go, and here's my throat again, you hear that? We are being asked to go so down into the depths, into the darkness, what is hidden in our shadows and in our unconscious, that we can now see and heal and integrate. But we first have to shine a light there. So be aware what is coming up for you, bubbling up to the surface. And can you feel the storm that's building, that's coming closer? This change in the air, maybe a colder bite that your soul feels when the wind blows past you. Let me know from the comments if you can feel that. And if you can, that is this energy of the equinox, bringing us into this true astrological new year and this very powerful period of time that will be shaping our lives to come. This is a period of time that's strong enough to shake many who've still been sleeping and shaking them awake, to finally see with eyes that have never seen before of their true selves, of our world, society. This is a time that we're coming into as one of surrender, to not holding on to what is old, outdated, and instead to hold on to these deeper truths, to trust in the new that is unfolding and this future that hasn't yet been written, so therefore it is still unknown. Now, you might be feeling a bit under the weather right now, sick even, or scattered energy as we continue to build towards the equinox. You might find that one moment you have energy and then all of a sudden it's just gone and you are exhausted. A lot of this has to do with Chiron. It's conjunct Jupiter in Aries. And we also have Mars in Gemini still. It feels like Mars has been in Gemini forever. But just be aware that that can be some of your experiences. And if it is, to listen to your body. Allow yourself to rest if that's what you need. This is not the time to push forward and to be relentless on your goals or what you're trying to accomplish. There's a lot that's going to be coming in energetically, information, data that our body is going to be processing, all this photonic light even. Right, clearing that energy. And speaking of light, pay attention to the sun as well. Are we having a solar storm, a solar flare, geomagnetic activity that might be affecting you? Okay, I can go ahead and link below some of my favorite places to follow. And I say this because you might actually have symptoms that are correlating to what the sun is doing. So discover who you are. Learn who you are and how you react and feel. That modern science and laboratories, empirical medicine and all that can't quite define yet. But that doesn't mean that the experience you're having is not true. It's just the subtle energies that we're really tuning into, that they haven't quite caught on yet, and yet many others in our world are very aware of. And I'm speaking of, indigenous societies and Tibetan Buddhism and the like. So keep an eye on the sun, because the sun is doing lots of stuff. I won't go too into that because that will just make this video go even longer, and I'm going to try and condense it as much as I can. Now, the Aries Equinox this year is happening for most of us on March 20th. And then the new moon is happening just a few hours after that on the 21st. And then we have Pluto dipping into Aquarius on the 23rd. Now, we have a lot of energy right now around this life, death, rebirth, and regeneration. One of those energies is going to be Sedna, who's a dwarf planet with 11,000 to 14,000 year orbit. They don't even know yet because she's just such a slow moving planet. But she's going to be moving into Taurus, moving from Taurus into Gemini in June. Now, Sedna is all about holding on, grasping onto the old and what's familiar. And yet, when we let go of that, that's when we can have this beautiful transformation into this whole new being. So both Pluto and Sedna are these archetypes signaling endings and the new beginnings. We are moving out of this very dense period, dense energy, this focus of being in the earth, resources, land, wealth, what has defined success and power, okay, Capricorn, and moving into this energy of experimental, different, being curious, breaking through our consciousness and mind into a whole new dimension. This energy is speedy. It's about freedom, liberation, not conforming. Those are the themes of Aquarius and Gemini that we are really beginning to break into. And one of the beautiful pieces of Aquarius is looking at life through fractals. And that's going to become more and more highlighted for all of us as Pluto moves through Aquarius. This is going to be a 20-year transit, so it's a long one, and it's a really big deal. Pluto will be dipping into Aquarius for about six weeks, and then coming back into Capricorn. Pluto's going to be doing that dance through 2024, grinding away at what is old and outdated in our world and structures, what is not working, moving into freedom, into experimenting, moving into what is new and different. So, fractals and seeing our life and our world through fractals is going to be a really big part of that. That will be coming more into the conscious awareness. And it's like we're having almost an easier access to that understanding, to those codes, and being able to work with them, to heal with them on this more quantum, multidimensional level. Because we ourselves as human beings are multidimensional beings. We are not just the one person in this body, not this one personality of Chrissy, and that's it. It's so much more than that. And you are so much more than even you know. So I just really want to highlight that and this deep power that we all have. Because there's going to be a lot that's going to be going on, rumbling and shaking up in our world of those structures that are not working. And the crumbling is going to get louder and faster and more intense. We do have the power in our small way, our everyday decisions, to change that. And something simple that I can give to you is even like paying your bills. And I understand that for many people right now, money is a very real reality. Very tight, very difficult. And just kind of want to hold space for that experience as well that people are having. And if that's your experience, I do very much see you. And also to say, if you can, when you receive that bill, you might have that initial reaction of having that tightening of your gut. You're hunching over and you're suddenly feeling really small and tight and worrying and scarcity. Can you pull back a little bit? Just a small amount. And even as you make that payment, just be like, I am so grateful for this roof over my head, that I have a place to sleep that's dry and warm with my children, with my family. And almost blessing that money that you're using to pay that bill. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect either, because we are having very real experiences at this time. And that experience will look different for each of us. And yet it's like, can you hold to gratitude, even in something small like that? Can really, really help change that energy and that experience. And again, I'm sharing the story of paying bills because we all live on this world and we all need to pay bills. So your experience of paying that bill is actually a fractal of me as well. We are sharing a resonance of that experience. And that's what I mean about this deeper power that we have, that we can start shifting when we shift our focus. Because we're not just shifting it for ourselves, then we also start to shift it for the collective, for this morphogenetic field that you and I and everyone around us are experiencing as we go and pay that bill. So that's this deep shift in energy that I'm talking about here, and what is possible. And that we can magnify more of that. No matter what is happening out there, we have control of ourselves and our focus and our intention. So that is how we can start to really change the world on a very small, minute scale, and yet in a very big way. And that as well is also this energy of Saturn in Pisces. This being responsible in part of this collective whole. And I'm going to keep talking about Saturn because Saturn also made a very big shift when he moved into Pisces at the beginning of March. And he will be in Pisces for about 2.5 years. We are breaking through the glass ceiling of these old traditions, structures, and systems in our personal lives and on the world level. And as all this is happening, you really want to stay grounded. Keep your feet on the earth. Anchor in these new ideas, these new experiments, new directions to bring it back down here to this physical reality, this earth that we are living on. And we will absolutely be supported and pushed by Saturn to do this. And for those who are only interested in dreaming or fantasizing or living in illusions, Saturn is really going to come in with a wake-up call for them. Because Saturn is this taskmaster, that mean math school teacher. Saturn is going to come in and say, you think those are some nice dreams? Okay, good. Now get to work and go build it. Show me how strong you are and how capable you are. That is the message of Saturn in Pisces. You want to be spiritual? Then you better go practice at it. You better go put in your reps, do your push-ups if you want to make your dreams real. It must be grounded into this real world, one step at a time. So know that that is Saturn. Saturn's going to be really putting us through our paces, because Saturn doesn't want us to rush ahead and to make those karmic cycles, mistakes of the past. Saturn's slowing us down and being like, no. You're going to go slow. And you're going to really build this foundation of your building, of your dream, brick by brick by brick. So much to say about Saturn, but let's move into the Aries Equinox. And this, of course, is when the sun is going to be at 0 degrees and will also be conjunct the moon, Neptune, who's in Pisces at 25 degrees. And their energy together is really bringing in this unconditional love, this connection to the divine, to flow, to source. How can we, in this new year, okay, because the 21st is also the new moon of Aries too, this new year, how can we align to that love frequency? Also conjunct in Aries is we have Manway at 1 degree, Mercury at 3 degrees, and Celestia at 7 degrees. So Manway is the symbol of new worth, this highest source of divine intelligence who exists beyond the dimensions of time. This energy of world renewal, the turning point of divine intent. All right, so it's like as much as there's this destruction and crumbling happening, there's so much new that's being built. We're having this foundation for amazing new creation that was not possible before, and it is now. Also at this equinox, we have Venus, who's in a tight conjunction with the north node of the moon, which is in Taurus, 4 to 5 degrees. And that's Venus is the ruler of Taurus. Venus has been a very powerful presence, especially with this last eclipse cycle, October, November 2022. She started 2023 conjunct Pluto. And now here she is, the astrological new year, new beginnings, and she is conjunct the north node in her own sign. Again, this is a very powerful symbol for new earth, for what we love and value, this direction we are moving into of Taurus. Releasing the drama, the intensity, that is Scorpio, okay? The lies, the manipulations, the shadow. We are coming into Taurus, learning how to be in Taurus, to be in the body, our 5 senses, slowness, tuning into what we actually love and value. This is also learning to listen and receive, discovering new ways of doing relationships that are actually supportive of us and what we value and love. So we, in our personal lives and in the collective, we've been clearing out the muck around relationships and partnerships, and we are moving into the new. This is an incredibly supportive, regenerative process. And as I said at the very beginning of this video, that also can require us to go into the darkness. We may be forced to go into the darkness, into the shadows, scraping up that bottom of the barrel from those past relationships, past ways we might have valued ourselves or didn't, around our resources as well. And then there's this beautiful opportunity for healing by going into those depths. Okay, that is the energy of Scorpio, as well as Haumea, who I mentioned, is also in Scorpio, conjunct that south node of the moon. So by diving into the past dynamics and relationships, we can have this very powerful rebirthing experience. And no, it's probably not going to be comfortable or easy. And yet it is this growth that's taking us deeply into our truest selves and what we value and love and we're here to do at this time. This theme of transformation, this pinging back and forth between going into the depths of Scorpio and then having the calm, slower energy of Taurus, that's going to intensify. going faster and faster back and forth between them. That will continue well into summertime. We also have Pluto, as I mentioned, is square the moon's nodes right now. So yes, we are going into this transformation. We are going into the depths and the darkness. And at the same time, like, look, we have all this hope, all this new beauty, this new earth that's really here for us. If we're willing to go deep, to not resist this transformation, this metamorphosis that is occurring. Don't lose faith. Tune into your heart, no matter what is happening in the world outside. As again, Pluto is going to do what Pluto does, moving through that last degree of Capricorn, doing that dance back and forth. If you find yourself caught up in fear and worry, the intensity that's happening, connect into nature. Taurus, when you need space, when you need to just breathe and get your feet on the ground, then go do that. Listen to your body. Bring yourself back into the present moment, wherever that is for you. That will help you so much to move through this. And speaking of this present moment, okay, on the equinox on the 20th in the Galactic Mayan calendar is also the White Resonant World Bridger Day. That energy is all about surrender and trust. Surrender your desire to be in control, to let go of all you think that things should be and how they should go. Surrender to true freedom and allowing everything to be all right as it is. My favorite way to remember that is when my kids were really small and having big emotional reactions, especially when it was around me telling them no about something. And it was like I could either get upset and mad that my child is mad about not getting the candy at the checkout of the grocery line, getting mad at them, getting frustrated, or just accepting that this is exactly what is happening. They are upset, they are frustrated, and can I let that be what it is? Instead of me getting wrapped up in that emotion, me be that space of calm and just be like, okay, you're upset. You're allowed to be upset. And hold space for that. Instead of resisting or getting mad at them for having those feelings. So just keep that in mind, where there might be tantrums or big emotional outbursts in your life, and can you just surrender to like, okay, well, I wanted to get out of this checkout line quickly because I have this place to be and this appointment and we got to be at school at this time. And instead it's like, okay, we're just going to be late and be okay with that. So, and what limiting beliefs, okay, this is also this energy, limiting beliefs that you need to surrender. You may see them very clearly, these beliefs, these patterns reflected in people around you on the equinox. These people who are actually holding up mirrors and reflecting your own unconscious back to you. And can you allow others to show you this deeper truth of who you are, of your shadow? And then can you take that information, that knowledge, those patterns and limiting beliefs, and see them from a higher vantage point? To be a visionary, to be a transformer on a much bigger, broader, global scale even. To see from this more planetary perspective through the mirror of those around you. To really lean into trusting your inner voice And that's going to be the challenge for that day of the equinox. This isn't about trusting what others may be saying, especially around government, the news, social media. This is about trusting in your voice. Your deeper voice, the quiet whisper of your true nature, and not the programmings and conditionings society has put into all of us. This is about you. Can we fully and absolutely be a cosmic time jumper on this day to bring balance to our lives, to these new structures, these new pillars that we are calling in, to be in self-acceptance and accept yourself unconditionally as you are in each moment and in your full power. So I thought that was such this resonant, beautiful weaving with another astrology system to what the evolutionary astrology that I'm reading is saying as well. We have a lot of Aries energy at this equinox. And this is all about being the warrior, sovereignty, freedom. This freedom to trailblaze in new directions. Open roads, exploring our instincts, our desires, our sexuality. And we can have a lot of healing coming in with those themes because Chiron is right there as well. We can have a real expansion of that Aries energy. This initiation to a new beginning. That's with Jupiter shining a magnifying glass on all of those themes. Now, lower octave Mars can very much be warlike, angry, individualistic, focused only on self-autonomy and not the other. All right, clearing that energy. I could feel that coming and building. So it's about, yes, to being an individual, and yet can you still hold space for the others and their individual experience? My apologies. That's going to be the experience and the challenge in bringing that into balance. So be aware how this can be coming through for you. These desires, these instincts coming from deep within us, from our soul and our unconscious, okay? These messages from Pluto. And Chiron is taking us down there into that underworld journey as well. So what are you needing to pay attention to in those areas? What is your body speaking to you? Your energy? Can you listen to it? This is a tremendous opportunity to hear those messages and to heal them and integrate what is needing to be healed at that time. Mars is also in this quincunx. Okay, Mars is our individual power to Pluto in Capricorn, which is government power. So we can have this shifting of power from top-down authority and control into this more Aquarian energy. Liberation, truth, rebellion, divine discontent, community experimentation. That is in the field. So be aware what might be playing out at the world stage. And again, hone your focus on the timeline that you are here for. If you're here for war, and all that stuff, let your attention focus go there. But if you're here to bring in this new, to actually have community, this golden age where we are linking arms and supporting each other, go focus on that, okay? We are going to be having a lot of secrets being highlighted and coming to light. We're seeing that very clearly with this Pluto energy. What has been kept hidden by our governments, our systems, structures, institutions, society is coming to the surface. We also, though, have this illusion and delusions with Neptune conjunct the Sun and Mercury. So there can be this new beginning around those energies. What is truth? What is illusion? Okay, Neptune also represents film, media, social media. Mars square to Neptune right now. So there's again this theme, there's a lot of information coming at us, being thrown at us. And we are needing to discern what is truth from illusion. And then all the shades of gray that are in between, and where are we going to focus our energy and our thoughts? Or are those thoughts going to get really scattered? Our mental energy going to be scattered? Mercury is bringing in this energy of communication, of the mind. But Mercury in Aries, it's there, so it's also around being this individual, being sovereign, trailblazing these new directions and intellectually in a new way. So stay in your strength, your freedom, and your power. Don't let your mind spiral out of control with all this information. Hold on and keep your focus. And as I've mentioned a few times, we have our Aries New Moon on the 21st. That's taking place at 0 degrees, 49 minutes of Aries. So see where this falls in your chart. And again, if you want to support with that and you want to know more and have a birth chart reading, please leave a comment or send me a message and let's connect and find out what new beginning is starting for you at this Aries Equinox New Moon. So the fact that the new moon is happening within hours of the equinox means that this is a very powerful new moon. So everything I was talking about holding your focus on to freedom and your sovereignty, really hold on to your focus, okay? Really narrow in on your dreams and your visions. We can have a very explosive, fiery, angry energy around with all those planets in Aries. Or again, this can be about being this trailblazer to initiating a new direction where others dare not go, to being the warrior. Again, we may feel very overwhelmed with all this information. Be discerning around that truth. And can you allow yourself to awaken to higher dimensions and understandings? Because we have clarity and truth that are coming to life. This energy here is all around this underworld journey, this death, rebirth, regeneration in a profound way. And what are we going into? This tipping point of this moment is profound regeneration and growth. That is this period of time we are entering. And as I said, Pluto is going into Aquarius on the 23rd. We'll be there until June 10th or 11th, depending on where you live in the world, moving back into Capricorn. So this is a fundamental shift from these top-down structures and systems, traditions, to one where people are linking arms with each other, to community, to a more equitable society. We are really, more than likely, going to be feeling this shift. Pluto going from Capricorn, moving over that cusp and into Aquarius. And just so you know, when that happened last time with Pluto going into Capricorn, a few months after that happened, 2008 is when we had the big financial crash. Structures, systems, okay, governments, okay, money crashed, those systems crashed. So just be aware that Pluto shifts, we can feel very big on a very big level. And we have ideas, astrologers, we have themes of what this can be around, but can we exactly predict of like, oh, this day, this thing is going to happen? Like, no. But again, these are the themes of these energies. So just be aware that these systems and structures are really going to be crumbling and breaking down. What is not working? What needs to be evolved and transformed? That is this work of Pluto in our systems, governments, structures, traditions, breaking down in this evolution forward. Now, Pluto moving into Aquarius has a lot of potentials, and that as well is a video all in itself. So I'm just again giving you the highlights. Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. So we can have an experience of more extreme solar events. And in fact, we are in a period of heightened solar activity. But now in the next 3 or 5 years, can't remember exactly which one it is, but we're in that cycle, and it's already proving to be so. So that's going to continue. Earthquakes, earth events like that, geomagnetics. We may experience more power outages, as well as more connection with galactics. And, you know, it's no surprise that just last week, Military Times had a high-up official in the Pentagon saying that, oh yeah, it's quite possible that the aliens have motherships in our galaxy and might be sending, probes to go check things out here. So more of that information can be more mainstream and more in the known, rather than people looking at you slant eyes like you're a little crazy that you believe in aliens and little gray men. Or those of you who are like, no, I'm actually like coming from different star systems and have memories and deep emotions and feelings. More of that information can be coming online, as well as more accepted even in society. So we will see what happens. Pluto is going to be really intensifying that sign of Aquarius, as well as revealing what is deep within Aquarius that needs to be transformed and metamorphosized. This as well as around even science. You know, again, just look at what Pluto has been doing, going through Capricorn since 2008, and the deep system structures and changes that he is really shaking up right now, okay? So Aquarius is all about science, technology, AI, experimentation, and we can be experiencing these quantum leaps forward in our understanding of those things, as well as revealing what has been kept hidden in secret. But we will continue to explore that the more we get into that big period of time. But just as a higher general point, the key theme for this moment, this period of time, is truly to surrender. To surrender to what is crumbling, what is no longer working. To surrender to the flow of the river, the current, and where it and your soul, this growth, this transformation, this experience of the phoenix rising from the ashes is taking you. You at your individual experience and the level that you are at. Really hold a lot of compassion for yourself and for others. Let grace and forgiveness be your mantra. There's going to be a lot of energy moving through our body, a lot that we are going to be asked to process and to move through, to clear and to cleanse. So check in with your body. Check in with your emotions. If you get rocked by an emotional hand grenade, then take the time that you need to care for yourself, to nurture yourself and your inner child. And if you still feel like you're a hermit right now, then that's okay too. That's also very much the energy that's still around us. Tune into your inner knowing. Be receptive, be in flow. Don't push or grasp or hold on. This is an intense period of time that our souls said yes to be here for, because your soul knew you could do it. And if you can't, or maybe loved ones or those around you, they can't and they leave, like that's okay too. It's okay for that to be their process and their choice. Surrender to what is, to not hold on to what is old or outdated. Hold instead to truth, to trust in the new that is unfolding. This future, again, that hasn't yet been written, it's still unknown. And can we feel into this as well? This imagination, these new possibilities that we can't even comprehend yet. Can you lean into that energy instead? And what you are here to create and to bring into this world. So I truly hope that that was helpful and supportive. I know that is a lot of information, but there's a lot happening, so I hope that I condensed that as best as I could in a way that still made sense and that you could integrate. So thank you so much for being here. And if you, again, are struggling, if you are feeling lost with your life, having this deep yearning to move forward, and yet you don't know where to go, what direction, why these things are happening to you, it's time to stop that aimless wandering and to find answers by taking a deep dive into your astrology. Astrology is a solid science that's been used and trusted for thousands of years across many civilizations. The science reveals what remains hidden from us, the key to open the locked door, the map to navigate the unknown territories of our soul. So I have assisted many individuals from all walks of life across multiple countries. And if you would like to move forward now, please reach out. I only have limited readings available due to the depth of the work that we cover, and I'm sure you noticed just by the length of this video. I really go down deep. I have a very Pluto soul, so I like going down where others dare not go. And if that is where you are wanting to go, please leave a comment below, send me a message, or check out my website. I am here to support you and to help guide you through that journey you are on. So thank you so much for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel. I really appreciate all of you so much for being here and saying yes to this journey that you are on. So thank you, and I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.